We're going to back things way up to explain why we're even on this path, starting a production series, Catamaran. We're going to take you back to one of our darkest moments of sailing around the world. Offshore, over 1,000 miles from land in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Two little kids aboard, one still an infant. Whoa, that just opened up.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yep.
That whole thing's moving. You can see a crack at the bottom of this panel, bottom of this bulkhead, but then at the top it pinches together, and it's like they're not in line anymore. They're going away from each other. So we're somewhere between Maldives and Seychelles, basically middle of the Indian Ocean, and we're starting to notice some weird stuff happening aboard our catamaran. Stuff starting to separate. One bulkhead in particular is actually broken longitudinally. It has a crack in it longitudinally. So that's the floor moving back and forth right here. That's a lot of cracks. On the other side of these stairs, we have a panel that's joined at the bottom. At the bottom here, you'll see that there's a crack, and at the top, it's pinching together. So it's like the hulls are coming apart at the bottom.
I'm trying not to be nervous about it. Try not to be scared that we won't make it. So I don't think I'm scared that we're not making it. It's just, what does this mean for us? Like, what is it gonna take to fix this? What does it mean? What's broken? Why? And it's scary, honestly. It's scary. I don't think like the boat's not gonna break apart right now. But we still have 3 days to go. I just don't know. And then what? And then what? And then is this going to take 6 months to fix? I don't know. It's kind of freaky, man.
Possible huge implications in terms of finishing the circumnavigation.
And I mean, they can be made. They can be fixed, right? But it's the time and effort.
It's the time, the cost. If they find the issue, can they find the right issue? I've gone through this boat with a fine-tooth hair comb for hours and hours checking the bulkheads. And there's obviously something else still wrong. Maybe it's the bridge deck. Maybe it's hidden behind the fiberglass, like, because they do the bulkhead is wood and then fiberglass on the outside. So maybe it's the wood on the inside that's rotten. I don't know. I have 2 small children aboard. I cannot risk any harm to them, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Squall coming up behind us. Big one. That moment changed everything. It forced us to question how boats are built, what materials are used, and whether there was a better way. And that's when the idea began to grow. We fixed the problem, we finished the lab, but what if we didn't stop there? What if we built a boat that we wish existed and built it for others too?
It's brought up a lot of food for thought. A lot of thoughts come to mind when you think that your boat that you have a lot of confidence in and that we've checked so many times over and over, all of a sudden you lose a little confidence in it. But Ben seems to think this is an opportunity, so we'll see what this leads to. Opportunity to be extra confident in our boat. Opportunity to change. Opportunity to grow. Opportunity to do whatever. And yes, a few moments to wallow.
If you've been following us, you know we've been working on something really big.
We are building a company that is going to build boats, many boats.
We're building a whole line of boats. This project has been in the works for years now. We've eaten, we've breathed, we've obsessed over every detail. Is the top of the rudder post above the waterline?
Yes,
Okay.
maybe 25 centimeters.
Okay, and then you have this frame in case anything happens.
Hoses, wiring, cabling, any of that down in a bilge is a bad idea. You know, it's just a problem area of any boat.
From naval architecture to figuring out how to actually build these boats in series, it's been a journey to say the least, and now we're getting ready to release it all into the wild. But before we lock into the final details, we came to the International Multi-Hull Show in France to see what's out here, to see what works and what doesn't, and where innovation is actually happening.
It's an airfoil that goes up on a telescoping pole. This boat can fly.
And honestly, a lot of this comes from frustration. Too many boats out here today are being built like RVs, designed to look good at boat shows, but do not survive the realities of going offshore.
How does this work? So there's the dripless shaft, right?
Yep.
But sometimes that might leak some salt water.
So there is we haven't had it yet.
Okay.
There is a little bit of water under the motor right now.
But is there like a bilge pump back there if this ever fills up with water?
That's a great question. I don't know. There should be one back there.
Somewhere along the lines, profit started mattering more than safety. And that's something we're just not willing to accept. So we're building our own. And in this video, we're kicking things off with something a little different, an aluminum catamaran. There aren't many of them out here yet, but this is a standout example of just how sleek and refined aluminum can look when done right. Let's have a look at the Van R5.
And this is the coolest boat of the show, I think. Well, except maybe that turtle boat, but it's not the same.
I like that turtle boat as well, but this is, of course, yeah.
This is not the same. This is an amazing boat, and Igor here has been responsible for creating this.
Yes, together with my wife, we founded the company 6 years ago, and this is our second model that we launched, the R5, 49 feet. We started with a 42 feet, and we also have a 58 and a 78 in the pipeline.
That's awesome. So he's going to give us a tour of this beautiful boat, and yeah, come along.
3 things are important: sailing, styling, and sustainability. Those are the foundations, basically, of the brand. Why we started. I started it 6 years ago together with my wife. So we are co-founders of this. And the aluminium, well, there's many benefits to it. The reason why we chose it is that it allows for, personalized boats. It's not a custom boat, but we can do. We can make it really unique for each owner. Of course, there's the safety of it. If you hit a rock or something else, or a refrigerator or a container, whatever is floating out there, you can have a dent rather than a hole. So that's a big difference when you're on the sea. And it is also 60% recycled aluminium. So for the sustainability, it's also great for us. It's 100% recyclable, but it is already recycled window frames and license plate. So it's electric propulsion. Maybe good to have a look inside.
How many boats do you guys have?
6 in the water, 3 under construction, and then there's a backlog of next orders that we start soon. And we built really for owners. So that means that if you build for chartering, usually it's you try to put as many showers and everything in as you possibly can. For us, space is value. It's comfort, it's luxury, really. So we leave things open sometimes. It's not wasted space. I think it makes it easier to live on the boat.
Igor is absolutely spot on here. Empty space is the ultimate luxury on a boat. Space is comfort, space is freedom, and not filling every nook and cranny with furniture, that's a design restraint.
It's not form over function. A lot of these things, some people call it like minimalistic, and it is, but there's a reason for it, and that an uncluttered boat feels very comfortable because you know where things are, and you're not distracted by a lot of noise, basically. So it is really a philosophy behind it. It's not just design, and just demonstrating this is a good size shower.
Not a lot of fuss. It's just clean.
So in this case, it is a lot of white also. That also is an owner's choice. I mean, we can do
just to make the space feel as large as possible
and as light as possible. So it has a very Scandinavian look to it. But again, this could be anything. This could be walnut. It is really up to you what. Okay. And you can tell. Well, you have a lagoon, and you probably know that if you have heavy waves, that the boat will crack a little bit inside the interior. I see 2 big smiles. So you love your cracking. But look at these windows. They tell a big story, I think. That is true glass. It's actually double glazed insulated glass. And the reason why we can do this big pane of glass is because the hull is so strong. So when it goes over the waves, the two hulls don't twist and torque, and therefore the windows don't crack. And all the lines run back here.
They're all here.
Everything except for the mainsail is over there, but everything else you control from here. On this boat, most of it is electric, so it's only a few lines. But even if you had manual reefing, it would all come back here. And it means that if you don't want to, you never have to go to the front. So if you're in a situation where it's, rough conditions, you can just stay here, control all the sails, do all your reefing from here. We call this the V grinder. It's they're all electric in this case, so control it all from here. This is another thing. People ask us where are the handrails on this. It's here, and it's designed to be a handrail. Again, less noise, less lines get tangled, stuck, and it's right there.
Really wide decks. Oh, and this is the pool.
It's a jacuzzi, cocktail cockpit, some people refer to it. But it's just a nice, cozy place to sit when you're at anchor, have the evening breeze over the boat. There's two big sail lockers there. One, for instance, right now is a Jenniker. You can put your fenders, but actually, fenders are best stored in here. Here you also see the structure of the boat. And this is a great place to store your fenders. Anything with a lot of volume and lightweight, you want to put in the bow.
The Van R5 is a great reminder that aluminum boats can be more than just tough. They can be elegant, thoughtfully finished, and beautiful. But let's shift gears, because as important as aesthetics are, there is one area of boat design that arguably matters the most: how you actually sail the boat and manage its sail plan. As we saw in the Van, they had a aft outboard helm station. But what we're really interested in is the forward working cockpit. And there's one boat here at the show that has really innovated on that aspect.
This is the Windlow 50, and it's a cool boat. This boat has been the talk of a lot of boat shows. One of the very few forward cockpits on the market, and I think the only one at this boat show. So, working cockpits, that is. So let's go take a look and see how it all is put together.
Forward cockpits offer a huge advantage. You're not steering from the back bumper. You're at the center of gravity right here at the base of the mast. Sail handling happens in a protected, sunken cockpit, arguably the safest place on board to manage sails.
You can do everything right here. You can get a clear view, depending on the side of the boat you're on, you get a clear view of your sails. You got your self-attacking Solet, you got the Jenniker, Code Zero, depending what you have out, your main sail. You can see everything from right here. And I can tell you in weather, it's kind of fun, because if you stand right here, you feel like you're inside, even if you've got 30 knots coming right on your nose. And if you want to feel a little bit of the weather, just come out here.
But there are trade-offs. Visibility of the rear of the mainsail can be really tricky, though the Windlow solves this with coach roof windows. And yes, it can get wet, especially upwind or in big seas. Just watch some of this footage.
Well, that was a little bit damp. Wet. Plenty of spray.
That said, the window's partial enclosure helps out a lot. In our view, this is one of the smartest innovations in recent years for cruising cat. You're forward, you're at the center of gravity, you're safe, and when well designed, you stay dry. You probably shouldn't be surprised if you see a forward cockpit on our next design. Now, there's one other huge downside no forward cockpit can truly solve, and that's line of sight. When you're navigating reef passes in the South Pacific or dodging bommies, visibility forward isn't great. The only real solution is to get higher.
I'm actually more nervous than I thought. The water's really murky, and the satellite imagery is not lining up where the map is supposed to be, but I think we're okay.
So I mean, with the polarized sunglasses, you see a lot more, but we went from being able to see like probably like 10 meters down to nothing. Like I can't even see the bottom. I don't think it's that deep right now. Do you want to turn around?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
Honestly, if we hadn't done as much of this stuff as we have, I would never do this. So you can see little wavelets here. It's so calm right now. And you can see little wavelets over there. So I think we are actually in the pass, which is good because, you know, there's a reef there, obviously.
You know, something that I think everyone is always arguing about, you know, helm position. Should it be inboard? Should it be outboard? Should it be aft? Should it be forward? And one of the biggest things about helm position is being able to see and being able to see from high up. I think that's what people often forget. Yes, it's about sailing. You want to be able to see the sail, but you have to go through these narrow passes all over the world, in South Pacific and Indonesia, everywhere. And you need to be able to get up high and look. So I don't know. That's my beef about helm position as we navigate this. Visibility, the higher the better.
Which brings us to our next boat, the elevated helm station on the Katana 50 OC.
I don't know if it's just because I'm used to this or I just really like this setup, but this is the watch station, the helm station on the Katana, and I like it because you can see everything. You can see both corners of the boat, and it's got a good view if you're looking for bommies or steering or sailing or the night with all the little boats in Asia. It's good. I like it. It's also really neat. A lot of boats are doing this now where they actually have a working station just in front of the steering wheel, and it's kind of nice because otherwise you're reaching over to grind winches and it's kind of high. So to do this, you just kind of step around and then you've got all your controls up here. But you can still reach back and can do autopilot and adjust the steering wheel a little bit if need be. I like it. I think this is really innovative. The Katana, the only thing that I think people might complain about is that you have to go outboard to go down and around because it's an indoor boat. I don't know how to describe it, but they've brought the cabin all the way back. I think that this could easily be solved with just a little bit of an amendment and making this a higher rail here, and then you'd feel fine. Even on Nahoa, we have to go out to get into our helm station. We can climb over from the inside, but I do feel that this is a big boat, and it probably, once you actually got out sailing on it, it wouldn't be a problem at all. There are a lot of handles, so you feel secure all the way to get down. And you could probably have a jack line here to clip into. So I think that would be a complaint that a lot of people might have of this type of helm station.
After seeing these last two helm stations and cockpits, it begs the question, what if you could have both? A protected forward working cockpit and an elevated helm station. From up high, you've got clear sight lines for passes, bommies, and docking. From the forward cockpit, you can safely manage the sails in all conditions. But for now, let's shift into some smaller innovations that caught our attention at the show. First up, the Nautitech. We've met a few owners on the water who originally had their eyes on an Outremer, but didn't want to wait. And now they're actually pretty happy that they chose the Nautitech at a lower price point with decent build quality.
So this is a multi-purpose room, and Nautitech does a really nice way of doing it. This bed can flip up.
Yeah, so this is basically shoved.
So right here, can actually flip down, and this nightstand then acts as a support on the ground. Then there's a mattress in here to make this into a queen. There's also a ladder behind you which hooks onto right here to get to the top floor as an escape hatch to get to emergency exit right there.
Here's another look at a Nautitech multi-purpose room. I honestly drool over these just imagining a proper workspace with all my tools. And a nice little touch, you've got access to the forepeak directly from the accommodation space. Small detail, big win. Now there's lots of things at a boat show that buyers don't get a real feel for. Take door latches for example.
Magnets.
This one makes sense. But this one, offshore, it's going to drive you crazy rattling back and forth. And then we were off to see some features that really made us smile. Simple, clever details that showed someone was really thinking.
This is a really cool feature. This is the XS 13, and they have actual wind scoops. So if you're at anchor, and since the back area of the boat doesn't get as much wind and there's a lot of stale air back here,
this little wind scoop contraption scoops the air as it's coming down the side of the boat and brings it into the aft cockpit, helping ventilation. This is a cool little idea.
You think it works?
I give them that. I don't know if it works. I guess it does.
Maybe.
Okay, this boat has rainwater collection system, but it's a different take on it. So rainwater comes off the top. It collects right behind the mast. There's a little hole here where it comes through. That connects to this pipe. And then you have two tanks. You have your rainwater collection tank and your freshwater drinking tank. And that's important because often you have bird poo or Sahara dust, or boats get dirty out at sea. So you get to collect your dirty freshwater in this tank and rinse your boat off, rinse your anchor off, or whatever you want. And then you have your desalination water from your water maker in the other tank so you don't get sick. Really neat idea. Now, to summarize, there's a bit of tunnel vision in the sailing world these days. Everyone is trying to outdo each other with essentially the same formula. But every now and then, a boat comes along that breaks this pattern. And the 48-foot Tortue might just be the most outside-of-the-box design we saw at the show.
So I think if there was a prize to be given for most unique or most innovative boat at the show, I would say this Tartaruga here is the winner. It is the most unique boat I have ever seen in my entire life, and it's very cool. It's pretty much handcrafted, a lot of wood, and it's a totally different take on what a boat should be. It is more like a home inside than a boat, and absolutely something that you guys need to see. So let's go check it out.
Yep, and we arrive on the first room, which is kind of a wet room. Oh wow.
Oh, this place, this is cool.
It's like a house. It's awesome.
Whoa, there's so much to explore. It's not the kind of boat we're building, but we can definitely appreciate the fresh thinking. What's really clear is the team behind this boat wasn't trying to copy anyone. They started fresh, and in a world of same layouts and trends, this kind of originality deserves a second look. And this is the starboard fore area, forward berth. I don't know what this area is here. It's just a low point. I guess you could get, maybe it's the dressing room. Got lots of shelves here, lots of deep pockets down there. Seating area, you could sit here.
Our kids would love this.
You have your coffee right over there.
So this will get the prize for the most unique boat at the show. It is absolutely stunning and really cool, really ingenious. I'm impressed. I didn't know what to think. From the outside, you do know what to think on this boat, and then you get into it, and it's pretty fun.
At the end of the day, I think this is an absolutely incredible, innovative boat. I mean, talk about like thinking outside the box. I haven't ever seen anything like this before. And that's where we're going to end this episode. There's a boat out there for everyone, each one tailored to different needs, built to different standards, and designed for a different kind of journey. As for us, we're designing and building a catamaran built for the real world. Rugged, reliable, and ready for true offshore adventure. Stay tuned and make sure to subscribe as we continue this journey of designing and building a production series catamaran.